Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell the people on YouTube about. Hey guys, welcome to a summer vlog where I'm just doing like kind of springy, summery little around the house, planty, I don't know, whatever we get up to chores. I've been wanting to show you these flowers over here. If you remember a few months ago I threw down a whole bunch of native wildflower seeds. So these are seeds that grow natively where I live, but I threw a whole bunch of them down on top of these rocks to try and help hold the dirt up a little bit. It didn't really work because my kids and dog and chickens like flung them everywhere. Exhibit B. Hey.
What's walking on my flowers?
And even though the flowers didn't exactly end up where I wanted them to end up, they are beautiful. They make me so happy. So I wanted to show you all the different flowers we got going on here. And Kai wanted to say something too.
So I just planted seeds for Mommy, and then we just make our own couch, and there's a lot of people here.
Should we show them our flowers?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go look at some flowers.
What of this? Hey Mom, I got some tiny rocks for myself.
These ones are definitely my favorite. They're just so vibrant. They don't even look real. I just wish that this was up there, you know? You see the vision? This one's new. It's kind of that same flower, the one I just showed you, but a lighter color. That's kind of pretty. It's like buttery. Aww. Also, over here by the chicken coop, I threw down some seeds as well. They haven't flowered yet, but I'm hoping they will. Something kind of cool but random, and I have no idea how it happened. A tomato plant is growing right here. I assume one of the times I gave my chickens a tomato, they like kicked a seed out or something. So that's really fun. That's that guy. In the front here, we also planted a couple of strawberry plants and chamomile back there. It's just like teeny tiny chamomile. And then in this planter on the other side, we put, so cute. Yay, things are, I don't know. Okay, so for the actual main portion of today's video, I am going to be moving some of my houseplants from inside to outside on my covered deck. We've been spending a lot of time out there this year, which has been really, really nice. Today it's a little bit too hot to be doing that. It's like 95 degrees, which is by far the hottest day we've had this year. Just realized I have the hose top in my pocket. But first, I want to make a shake. I've been really wanting to try this mud shake. Step 1, add 1 tablespoon of mud to a blender. Add banana, almond butter, except I'm substituting for creamy peanut butter. 1 tablespoon nut butter, 12 ounces milk, and some ice. Also gonna add some vanilla, just because I like it, and blend. Okay, now to taste test. Ah. Let's try it. I gotta say, I've been drinking mud water for a long time, like years now at this point, pretty consistently. Not every day, but most every day. This has to be my favorite way I've had it. That's so good. It's a good midday dessert, especially on this 95-degree day out. And I'm so glad this turned out so good because Mud Water is the sponsor for today's video. I have been drinking Mud Water for a few years now, not every day, but most every day. It's great. Mud Water is a coffee alternative. It includes lots of great ingredients. Lion's mane, which is great for focus and to combat brain fog. Cordyceps, for energy, and both chaga and reishi to support a healthy immune system, which is great because I've been sick these last few days, you could probably tell. So this is great, this is perfect. Easy on the stomach. Plus it's Whole30 approved, 100% USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. I myself will vouch for the benefits of this. I don't feel jittery, anxious. It really, really helps, and it truly does help my focus. So highly recommend, especially try it like this, okay? And it's a great time because they're hooking my viewers up with an offer. So go to mudwater.com/HarleyG for 15% off and a free frother. That's mudwtr.com/HarleyG for a free frother and 15% off. This offer is exclusive to my link, so be sure to head down to the description box and check that out if you're interested. And a huge thank you to Mudwater for sponsoring today's video. It's freaking hot. Okay, now back to business, deck business. My plan. My deck isn't huge and I kind of have a lot of stuff out here already, so I am thinking I'm only gonna bring like maybe 3 or 4 plants out here. Well, let's see. I wanna put one here. This gets the most light of anywhere on the deck, so something very light tolerant, maybe big, that will help block some of the sun from right here. Also considering putting something like up this trellis. I want to hang this trellis and put something up it maybe. We'll see, maybe a monstera I think would be cool. I also have this plant stand at the ready back here in case I find the perfect thing, so we'll see. And next to this wisteria, which wisteria is the like main plant out here to me. It's the one that I potted into this little bench thing Ryan built so that it could grow across and give us shade during the hot months. Well, it's still a baby, so it's not quite doing its job yet, but I think one day it's going to be really cool. Maybe a pain in the butt to prune, but hopefully worth it. I might put something in this little blue planter next to that. I'm not quite sure, maybe a succulent, something like smaller. I don't want anything too big that'll take away from the wisteria. Directly where I'm facing is where the morning light hits. So I'm thinking I'll probably put like my Norfolk Island pine over there and one other thing in this tall planter, but I'm just not quite sure what to do there yet. Another little side note that I have to consider, anything that I put out here needs to be fairly like wind tolerant because it does get really, really windy. So I don't want anything that's gonna like whip around too much. So maybe nothing with like huge leaves. Okay, let's go see what I have, what I wanna bring down. Welcome to my office. So this is where probably most of the plants that are gonna be going outside are coming from because the plants in here are my ones that are getting a little bit too big. I can't fit them very well in many places in my house right now. So I just kind of throw them here on this dresser and on the floor here underneath these Soltech lights until I'm able to figure out a solution for them. They're plants I'm not going to be getting rid of because I love them so much and have put so much time into them over the years and have really enjoyed them through the process. So yeah, they're hanging out here until I figure out what to do with them. They are just too big. Like, do you guys know, are you guys having that problem these days where the plants you bought back in the beginning are now getting too big and you're like, what am I supposed to do? And then they're just like clustered. Anyway, okay, I'm going off on a super tangent, but I wanted to chat about some things I'm considering as I bring plants from the inside to the outside. So number one, I'm only really considering plants that have thick leaves, like this Ficus elastica, for example, is a great option to move outside. Hoya is another great option. Cacti and succulents, that's all I can think of right now. But there's other ones as well. Oh, monstera, duh. Those are the kinds of plants I'm wanting to move outside because they are a little bit sturdier and can withstand high amounts of light a lot better. Anything super thin leafed, I'm not going to just move outside because it will burn to a crisp. It'll die. I think I'm going to put this one in that very brightest spot I told you about that gets the evening light, and I want to help kind of shade that side of my deck a little bit more. I think this is going to be a really good option. But with that being said, where this plant is thicker leafed and I think it'll do just fine there, I am going to take some precautions these first few weeks. On really high UV days, I'm going to be moving this plant out of the evening light, like maybe to the other side of the deck, so it's not getting just blasted with sun the first day I take it out there. Otherwise it's going to burn. As tolerant as this is, it will burn. So I am just going to be moving this plant kind of back and forth during the evening time to help protect it for the first little while. And then after, I would say a couple of weeks, it should be good to just sit out there. And also I need to make sure that everything stays really, really well watered. So yeah, I'm gonna be watering these like every other day, preferably every day probably, because I do use a super chunky mix that dries out pretty quickly. And the other thing I'm considering is the planter it's in. So like this one is in a ceramic planter. The ceramic planters hold moisture in a lot better than the porous like terracotta basalt planters. I will not be taking anything clay outside because it's just too airy. Dries out way too fast. This is potted in a little bit too small of planter, so it dries out really, really quickly. Well, I have a solution to this. I guess I'll show you when we go outside. Should we just start moving plants outside? I already know I want to take this one. Let's just get started. I just sit here and yap, and then the videos end up 40 minutes long with no substance. So sorry, I'm doing my best. Let's go take this out. It is currently sitting in this little plastic saucer, but like I said, you'll see, you'll see. The solution I mentioned is this. It's just a plastic planter. This is actually the one that I made a pond in a couple of years ago. I loved the pond. The kids just kept playing in it, so I did have to get rid of it. It is something I'll revisit in the future though, once my kids are a little more grown and I don't have to stay like as on top of them to stay out of my things. Anyway, I'm gonna use this since there's no drainage hole. I'm gonna use this as a cover pot. Ficus Elastica Burgundy. That looks great. I guess it doesn't really do much in the added shade department. Well, it adds that little bit of shade right there, so I guess that's something. But I do think it looks really nice there. And I'm also more excited about putting a monstera here now. Again, I don't know if that's happening today. Well, I could move it out here and then I could put the trellis up later, right? Yeah, let's do that. I hope this will fit. Oh, perfect. Okay. That might be a little too cluttery or something. That's just feeling a little too clustered for me, so maybe that's a little better. What do we think? So Norfolk Island pine is over here on the morning sun side. It does also get like a tiny bit of evening, but I think the plant will actually like that. Now to this little side table. What are you doing? Are you helping me? Back to the little side table. This is where I kept my Crassula ovata last year, and it did really well. It grew so much, so I definitely want to keep this here again. I think this needs a water. Yeah, it feels pretty dry, so maybe we'll go around and water everything after this. Also, I've also decided to put this ponytail palm in this plant stand for now. I don't know if this will stay here. Last year I had it on the coffee table, but I think I want to keep that more open this year. It kind of got in the way of us using the tables. So yeah, hopefully it'll work here. So for now I just moved the ficus, jade, ponytail palm here, Norfolk Island pine. Oh, and then I also moved my ficus Audrey, the one in the corner there. There is space for 2 more plants, so like we said on this wall here, I think I want to move a cissus discolor right here so it could kind of climb up this trellis through the summer. I think that would be really pretty, and I could put like lights in it or something. And then also this blue planter here, I kind of want something like mounded, maybe like a succulent or something. I don't know, but I want it to be pretty big, but not take away from the wisteria. So it needs to be like moundy, I think, or stout. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. So I'll keep my eyes open for that. I already watered the flowers. This is a geranium. What are these called? Lobelia, something like that. Lobelia, which is this here, and then also in the Audrey. I actually need to water the Audrey too. So we did pot some flowers a few days ago. It was really fun. Me and the boys did it like the very first day of summer. Had a blast. They loved it. I loved it. And they are so pretty. So it's been a lot of fun. Anyway, I did water these earlier, so I'm just so I'm not gonna water them again, but everything else. And something else I love about summer is the secondary water, which is water that comes direct from the lake, no like filtering or anything, and my plants freaking love it. So everything gets watered with this during the summer. Last thing I really wanted to get done today is to top off this bin. This is my wisteria plant, and I just want to give it a little, I'm going to give it a layer of orchid bark to not only make it look nicer where you can see the entirety of the top of it through this bench, but I also think it'll help the plant not to dry out too much, help hold in a lot of the moisture down there. So garbage. This is the orchid bark I use in my potting mix. I really like the way it looks. I will link this down below. I use it for a lot of different things, but primarily in my potting mix for my indoor plants. But also, like, that looks really nice, right? Way nicer, cleaner, and crisper than what it was before. This orchid bark actually ended up being a really nice palette cleanser for me, and I decided to move a few of my succulent plants out here on top of it, and hopefully they will be happy here. It got cloudy, so I don't even need to worry about moving the plants out of the direct sun this evening. Yay! This is like perfect circumstances. I think it's looking so nice out there, and it feels so comfortable. We've been really enjoying sitting out there first thing in the morning, letting the boys play and having a coffee. There goes Rai to pester the chickens. The goats back there. And of course the beautiful mountains, which are so green this year. Look, there's still snow. It's crazy, there's still snow and it's 95 degrees today. Sorry for how many times we've moved around in this video. Got filming out there, my neighbor went out and started cutting his grass, and then the neighbor on the other side started doing construction with actual construction equipment. So I don't know how long I didn't notice how loud it was. I hope the audio was okay. Oh, that's the hard thing about being outside, about filming outside. I think that's going to be it for today. It's getting a little bit dark outside, and I need to put my sheets on my bed and fold this pile of laundry. Oh, and do the dishes. And put the boys down and give them a bath first. It's time for me to go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you got something from this video. I really hope. I always worry. But that's going to be it for today. I will see you next time. Bye. Was that my most angelic voice yet? Maybe.